Hey folks, it's Tom, your Frugal Prepper. I am out here working in the shed. I don't know if you can really see, but there's still red goop down in here. I'm trying to clean it out with a pick and get all the silicone out of this intake manifold. And that one you probably can definitely see where they put all that silicone in there. And then silicone and gas typically don't work well together long term. So that's why we have failures. Probably the primary reason of these gaskets. Now the rubber gasket itself is, you can see where it's got silicone on it too. It's pretty hard and it's stretched out. So I ordered all my new genuine Briggs & Stratton parts. This is the gasket that goes to the air cleaner right there. And the new ones are red. This one is made in Taiwan. And here's the new gasket that goes between the intake and the carb. This one's actually made in the USA. Bonus. And this is the little... Oh, let me get this on the camera here. I got zoomed in so tight it's hard. See, that's the little washer for that, where that electric fuel anti-backfire valve thing goes. That's the washer that goes under that. And this is the gasket that goes above that, in between the fuel bowl and the piece in the carburetor, to seal that up that's missing. And this is the one, the ring that goes to the between the engine block and the intake manifold. It's also dried out and all silicone grown. Old gasket there. But yeah, we're gonna get this all cleaned up and put back together. I tell you, sometimes I just think that they need to require people to be licensed to buy a tube of silicone. I tell you, I see so many times where people think they're doing something good and they get the silicone and they scoop it all over their gasket and put it on their engine, and it leaks, it causes problems. The silicone will expand at a different rate than the gasket will, and over time it'll always leak. There's a few places where you're supposed to use it, like in the corner of some intake manifold gaskets, the lower intake manifold where it goes down in the valley and stuff. But unless the OEM specifically calls for it, I don't use it. Or if I do use it in an emergency as a gasket maker, I use only it. I don't use it with a gasket. And what, you know, the other thing I see quite a bit is either they use it like this, where it's in contact with fuel and it decays, or they goop it on so thick and it goops out inside the engine, that piece comes loose, gets into an oil passageway, and next thing you know, you spun some kind of a bearing, or cam bearing, or main bearing, or rod bearing, you know, and because of it got starved for oil, and you end up with having to buy a whole new engine. Where, you know, if you clean the surfaces and prepare them right, and you use the right gaskets, a good gasket, it can be aftermarket, but use a good gasket, you typically won't have problems with it. It doesn't leak, it lasts. And it lasts longer than if you goop it up with silicone. So, silicone, and most times on engines, that stuff doesn't mix well. If you do use it, use very little. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do, is get this back together here. See if I can make this old mower run. So, I've kind of redone the shed a little bit since the last time you've seen. I'll kind of take this camera off and show you. So, I have my pegboard here with some tools. My little Kennedy toolbox is down there. If you can see it, I put my little small 2-gallon air compressor down there. It's good for blowing something out real quick or whatever, inflating tires. But I've just kind of organized everything across here. Put up a shop light, and I've got a workbench right here. Then I got my window, and I just set my fan in the window, and then I can keep the doors closed so I don't have to worry about bugs, and it'll circulate out that window. So as long as it's not real hot outside, it's fine. And then have a big old patent fan if things get a little crazy, like hot, and turn that thing on. It'll make you cool. I've taken the old shelves that used to be up in my old garage, some of you may have seen those, and just put those up here to hold stuff. I've got another one back here. They're just sitting on the rafters there, so that gives me room to put some stuff up here, get it out of the way. But yeah, hopefully we can get Greta going. I can get some grass cut. It's been raining here like crazy every day. The grass is getting huge, and that guy needs a little help too. I've got parts on order for it, and I got to put a wheel on it. That mower kind of got ran over with that mower. No, you just kind of look where you're backing up, folks. That's all I can say. But that's how you know when you're done cutting grass for the day, is when you run over the small mower with the big mower. So that's kind of my little setup out here. I'm liking it. Gives me a little place to do a little work on lawnmowers and stuff out here without having to walk clear back to the garage all the time for tools. So I'll keep you updated as this moves along. We'll see how far I get tonight, but one way or another, you'll either a future video, or if I get it running tonight, I gotta get to bed before too much longer. We're going to the Kings Island tomorrow. We'll walk around in whatever weather we have. So but I want to see if I can get this car back together. Alright folks, so I would say it's time for the moment of truth. The carburetor's back on, except that, you know, off camera I already fired it up and it runs awesome. So I'm just going to show you. All I got left to do is put the air cleaner and the cover back on, but we'll fire it up here. You want to choke it? So, yep, she's running great. So I'll be ready to cut some grass. About 30, well, let's see, with shipping and everything, it was $29.15 for all the parts. Can't complain. Cheaper than buying a new one, right? So, yep, I just got to button the rest of this stuff up. I'll probably just go ahead and do that real quick here tonight. Put the cover and everything back on, and I'll be ready to cut grass next time I need to cut some grass. It's Tom, the Frugal Prepper. I'll see y'all later.